A determinate variety of tomatoes like Romas are different from indeterminate in that they don't grow indefinitely. They stop their growth at some point. They grow more as a bush. They produce their fruit in a short period of time, and they don't need much pruning, or at least that's what some people say. Back in April, we planted our Roma tomatoes in containers, and I wanted to experiment with one of them, and I kept one of them untrimmed just to see how it's gonna do. This is our Roma tomato that I'm experimenting with. I never trimmed the leaves, and you can see that it's not thriving, it's not healthy, it does not look good at all. The leaves are dry, some of them are yellowing. This plant is suffering. Now, this Roma tomato was planted on the same day back in April, and this whole time I've been pruning it and trying to keep all the yellow leaves at bay. And you can see that compared to this tomato plant, this Roma is doing much better, just simply because I've been pruning it. Right now, we're going through a heat wave where our temperature is in the 100 degrees Fahrenheit every single day. It's been like this for a few weeks now, and in spite of the hot weather, this Roma tomato is still doing okay. The leaves are green, it looks like it's thriving, and this tomato plant is even producing some flowers in spite of the heat. It has been in the spot that gets complete afternoon shade, but so has been this plant. And in spite of that, this plant doesn't look as healthy as this one. Even though Roma tomatoes are a determinate variety of tomatoes, they still require some pruning. It's minimal pruning, but pruning still needs to be done. Is it possible to revive this suffering tomato? Yes, it is. Again, by pruning the dead leaves. All tomatoes have a main stem, and then there's a leaf stem that grows and then it stops growing. It does not produce fruit. And then in between the main stem and the leaf stem, there's a side shoot that's growing, and eventually it will produce new tomatoes. Like here, for example, there's a branch that had some tomato fruit on it. So I'm going to remove only the leaf stems that don't produce any tomatoes. I'm going to simply prune it close to the stem like that, and we're done. All the dry yellowing leaves need to be pruned away to keep the disease away, because if you keep all the leaves on the tomato plants, then the disease from the older leaves will be moving to the new leaves. So it's always a good idea to prune your tomato plant. This is what our Roma looks like after some pruning. Doesn't it look so much better, so much healthier? So I made sure to leave all the side shoots, the ones that are bearing fruit, the ones that are growing between the main stem and the leaf stem. So this will keep growing throughout the heat, and in the fall, when it cools down, it will start producing. During the heat of the summer, tomatoes go dormant, so even the healthier looking tomato, even though it has some flowers, most likely they won't set fruit because pollen doesn't work in this temperature. But once the temperature cools down in about September in our climate, they will start producing fruit again. So I pretty much just need to keep them alive till the end of August or beginning of September. The other difference between the two tomatoes is this tomato has been on drip irrigation the whole time. I occasionally fertilize our garden through our drip irrigation with fish emulsion fertilizer and also more bloom. This tomato has been watered manually and fertilized once in a couple of weeks. So I think if I start fertilizing more often, it will be doing much better. It looks like mulch on this tomato still looks good, so I'm not going to refresh it. So even determinate tomatoes need minimal pruning. We need to prune away all the old and yellowing leaves not to spread the disease. I hope you like this video. Have a great day. Please subscribe to our channel. Bye-bye.